Welcome back. We're here with 1439, last year of this decade. Very exciting. And we, in the last one, had Genevieve be a bit of a rebellious child, so we'll be following up on that in this part. Hopefully we'll be able to finish her aspiration before she gets married. So that what happened last time. And then this year we don't have we have Emelina and Johnny Emil the second, but no one in the main household is aging up. So let's take a look here. No, 9 or 19 for Papa, Emil, and Asmi. Papa, Emil, Asmi. All right, they all survived. Then Johnny, oh my gosh, Johnny. He's a single father. You gotta let him live. No, 2, 6, 11, 13, 14. Ow! Johnny. Oh my gosh. But he has, oh my gosh, hold on, let me look. Where are your kids, Johnny? Yeah, okay, well, Dresden's still, oh, you know what, they're all teenagers, so all of them can live alone. I was worried that there would be a kid that wasn't old enough to live alone, but that's not the case. Okay, well, Emelina, is that how that's spelled? I don't know. Ella and Erica are going to become regular adults, so they need to get a 9 or higher. Emelina survived. Wow, everyone's surviving. And then Isabella Armstrong. Oh my gosh, I don't even remember who that is. She's dying, though. I obviously spelled her name wrong if it's going to be like this. I actually don't know who that is. She's dead. Maybe I spelled it wrong? Isabel Armstrong? I mean, they're both already dead. Isobel? No. Well, I actually don't know who that is, so she might already be dead. Maybe she died. I don't know. I don't know who you are. Okay, well, I'll go looking later, but I don't know who that is. Okay. And anybody that it could be is already dead, so I don't know about that. But anyway, vampires, we have 2. We have Salvia, and we have Wyber. I mean, he's not a vampire, but he's, anyway. No one's pregnant right now, except maybe Genevieve is pregnant. We don't know yet. That is not something that we are aware of at this moment. So we'll follow up with that as well. So I think that's it. Yes. Okay, well, I mean, we are going to keep it moving then. One more year until the next decade. Very exciting. Let's hop into the game. Okay, so what is going on? We have Thomas and Adelaide trying to figure out what they're going to do about Genevieve. They have Genevieve hoping that she's pregnant, and little Thomas just writing his books and being like, this is not my problem. Good for you, Thomas. So yeah, we have that going on, and we have the parents also working on their nectar making, and then also it is Easter, so everyone is going to go to a holiday ceremony. Also, we only need one more masterpiece out of Genevieve in order to complete her aspiration, and that is something that I wanted to do before we marry her off, because we're so close to finishing it, like we might as well just do it. So I am using that as a little bit of a time buffer. So maybe Adelaide is watching Genevieve like a hawk. She is like, is she pregnant? Is she not pregnant? What's going on? Like, she's trying to figure it out if they have any leeway here. And I accidentally sent Genevieve to the horse competition instead of Thomas, which is really confusing to me at this moment. But then, yeah. So anyway, so we are also going to redo the garden in this part. I do have to do it a little bit better than I did it, but I wanted to expand, especially since we have 2 people doing nectar making right now. So therefore, we are just running out of ingredients much faster. So I am going to try and plant a few other things. and get going on that. And Nora has come to visit, and so maybe Genevieve is confiding in her a bit about like, oh, you know, I'm going to become the next lady, like Cassian's going to marry me, and Nora's kind of like, okay. Now remember, Nora like forewent marriage in order to do business stuff, so she's just kind of like, great. But anyway, we have Thomas and Adelaide again just doing their stuff, and Genevieve is going to keep trying, and Thomas is going to keep writing. I think that Thomas is doing a lot better than he was, I think, in the last one. Obviously, his sister almost dying and whatever has, like, really affected him in the long term, and he's gloomy, so, like, he just was having trouble keeping his emotions controlled last time, but he's a little bit better this year. Anyway, Genevieve did complete the aspiration, so I'm really excited about that. So that means that she can get married. So I was going to have Adelaide come over and talk to her and be like, I don't think you're pregnant, because she's not pregnant. So she tries to talk to her, but then she just kind of like leaves the house. She's like, oh, sorry, I gotta go. Cassian's calling me, bye. So she leaves, and unfortunately this ended up being like a club gathering, so we're going to say that like Adelaide tried to follow her kind of, but didn't really succeed, and so she is alone with Cassian as soon as I can get rid of everybody else. So there is that, and we are going to just have them chat. Adelaide, you have to go. You can't stay, so anything is fine. Just get all these children, all these pain children. They're all pink. Anyway, so we're going to have these two be in a relationship as per usual. I'm trying to get their friendly up as well because their friendly is kind of low compared to their romance. And so they're talking, and she's like, I don't think I'm pregnant, but like I really want to marry you, and my parents are blah blah. And he's like, don't worry, like I'll make sure it's handled. Like we have already been together, so there's nothing they can do, even if you're not pregnant, because it would ruin your reputation if anyone were to find out. And so Genevieve is also a little like, are you saying you're going to ruin my reputation if my parents don't let me marry you? I think that she was just kind of like a little taken aback by that, and is like, okay, because obviously she loves him, or at least loves what he is going to be able to provide for her, but she doesn't want to ruin her own life. Like, she doesn't want to ruin her reputation. She just kind of wanted to make sure she could marry him, so I don't know about that. But anyway, we are going to get back to it here, and Genevieve and Thomas are just going to chat a little bit. You know, their siblings are really close, and so he's like, are you really going to do this? Like, what's the deal? And she is just like, yes, I've made up my mind, and I just have to get mom and dad on board. There is nothing that they can do about it because I've already decided. And Thomas is like, all right. So anyway, we are going to have them just doing their thing. And yeah, Thomas is trying to understand his sister, but it's really not easy for him. I also feel kind of bad for him that he was like so sad all the time, and he's like still gets sad really easily. And I know he's a gloomy sim, but it is really kind of sad. It's sad for me that our heir is just like bummed out all the time. But you know, he is dealing with a lot, and you know what, I'm sure that there's also a lot of pressure on him to, you know, keep going with the family line, and he's the only boy, and blah blah blah, and so all of that is important. And so we have them all set. Excellent. And we are going to just look around here. I'm trying to figure out what to do with the area, but we're going to reorganize things a little bit here. We don't really need this stall. I mean, we used it like 1 year. Anyway, so I'm going to start moving things over here and see if we can't get like a front or like a side. I guess it's a side farm area going. Anyway, it's fine. We don't need the bees either because they barely produce anything nowadays. Like, I don't know what glitch is going on with the bees, but there is one. And then we've got the trees, and then I'm going to move this other stuff over as well. And then we'll plant some stuff that we have left over. We do have a lot of extra stuff in some sections, so I'm not really sure what is going on there. but it's fine. I also, there's like the smallest of glitches with when I try to plant things in just a moment, so that's kind of annoying, but we'll do our best to make everything work out. Anyway, so we are just going to continue on here, and I'm going to try and plant things. You can see I can't drag and drop anything. Like, what's going on? It's all messed up. Okay, so, and then it won't let me let go of it. I don't know what's going on. It's fine. This game is full of glitches, and it's excellent. So anyway, we are going to try and fix that. But in the meantime, as you know, Genevieve is not pregnant, so she's kind of bummed about that. And she's also kind of a little worried that it's not going to work out, because she is just like, has gone all in on this, and now she's like realizing that she's in between a rock and a hard place, because that's just like, you know, she's, like I said, she's reckless, she's hot-headed, she is all of these things, but at the same time, she, like, you know, she doesn't want the negative consequences of those things, so she has done this stuff to ensure a marriage to Cassian, but now is realizing that if her parents don't agree, her reputation will be ruined. If they, so like, she is just like, oh my gosh, like, have I backed myself into a corner here? My parents aren't really going to let this happen to me, are they? Like, you know, all this stuff. So she is definitely worried about that. And we are going to do some more planting here, just getting a few things out, some trash plants, some extra stuff so that we can do whatever we need to do here. Of course, Adelaide is frozen somehow, and I need to reset her and whatever. But anyway, so we're all just doing our best here. So Thomas is going to come over here. Okay, so she is stuck. Why are you stuck? I'm going to save the game because it's been a little glitchy the last couple of minutes, and I'm a little worried about it, but that's fine. So she is going to handle that. I'm going to have Thomas get the prairie grass just so that I don't have to move things in between Sims. We're also going to have him enter a competition. And he found some nectar in there. That's fine. So the kids are at school learning how to be, you know, noble children or whatever. And then Thomas is back. So is the horse. We're all in good shape. And we are going to invite Odelgard over, apparently. She and little Thomas were, you know, having sleepovers together and being, you know, friendly and stuff. So that's good that he's keeping his friends. Actually, she's quite flirty. Oh, I don't know. Maybe someone, you know, we've been waiting for a while for, like, El Rosaria, who is the person I was thinking we would marry Thomas to, is quite a few years younger than him. So Odelgard is a little bit older than her, so she did age up first. I think, yeah, El Rosaria doesn't age up until 1442, because we don't, like, have a ton of Sims, so their ages are a bit spread out. So I don't know, maybe we will kind of see if Thomas might start a relationship before then. We don't know. Anyway, so Cassian is back here, and they're talking, and they are, you know, we're getting their friendly up and all of that. Hey, Odelgard. Nothing to see here. Anyway, so they're talking, and basically he's telling her, like, you know, before we get married, I really want to know everything about you and all that stuff. So he's kind of pressing her for, like, maybe some family secrets, some this, some that. Maybe he has some questions about how Thomas came back to life, but Genevieve is a little tight-lipped about it. But they do woohoo again, and Adelaide comes in and is furious. She's like, are you kidding me? What are you doing? Like, blah, blah, blah. You're going to ruin your life. And Genevieve is like, well, you have to let him marry me now. And we can see, look at, she's a little nauseous. She's nauseous. It's happening. She's pregnant. So she is pregnant. She's pregnant. And so she's like, I don't feel good. Like, I know that I'm pregnant this time. And Adelaide is just kind of like, oh my gosh, what do I do? What can I do? Like, this is, there's nothing else to do. So Adelaide just kind of says, like, Okay, well, I guess that's that. I guess you have to marry him. And we can't do anything about it. And so Genevieve is like, yeah, like she's so happy about it. But Adelaide is still kind of worried. You know, she's like, this guy has had 2 wives already. He discarded his second wife. Like, what if Genevieve, you know, can't do what he wants? What if he discards her too? Like, of course, we'll take her back in. But it could ruin her life. And just, you know, she doesn't know what to do. She really doesn't. So she is basically also going to tell Thomas, like, we have to accept this. We have to let this happen because we've got no other options, and Genevieve has no other options, and we have to let it happen, or our daughter is ruined. So, you know, that's it. That's all. So anyway, we are going to keep trucking on, and then also we will be having the wedding today, especially because she's pregnant. So we're rushing a little bit, and you know, it's kind of lucky that she wasn't pregnant the first time because at least there's some space in between those two things, so people aren't super suspicious of her chastity. But yes, so we also have to change her outfits to red, and we'll change her name. And that'll be good. So we will do those things and get her all ready to become a Heathcliff. So that'll be good for her. She is beautiful, of course, and I'm going to actually give her also a fancier dress. I think that definitely something a little nicer will be appropriate for the lady of the land. So there she goes. Can you believe it? Finally, one of our Sims is going to become, you know, the lady, lord or lady. So that is finally going to happen. And if Cassian's son doesn't survive, maybe one of Genevieve's children will become the next lord. We don't know. So that is something really interesting that's happening there. Also, I realize at this moment that I have messed up this chart a bit because I haven't been checking who's in the 7th generation and who's in the 8th generation. Actually, I think one of them is also in the 6th generation. So I'm like, uh-oh, I got to go back through and check everybody. What generation were they born in? So what generation is their marriage line in? So that is... that is something that I messed up a bit. Anyway, we are going to head out for the wedding. I realize now that I can't have her have a wedding event, but also not just can I not have her have a wedding event, but I can't have her have the wedding at the church because the church is somebody's house. So we can't just do that. But anyway, I'm just checking these while the page is loading, making sure that everybody is all in line. We're going to invite some of our friends and all of that. So that's very nice. And we are going to just, yep, okay, check on everyone and where they were in here. I did mess up a few of them, but I think there's only 2 from Gen 8. Can you believe it? Generation 8. That is wild. Also, Cassian is pulling a Gilbert where he has gotten married several times but ends up in different generations because he wasn't originally on our tree, so he ended up getting moved around based on where his wife was. So that's kind of funny too. But yes, so here we are. Let's knock on the door. Everything is good there. And now we will start changing around some of our information. And we are going to just do this. Lady Genevieve Heathcliff. There she is. Oh my gosh. Okay, so everybody come and sit. We'll also get the new picture. That was Odelgard. She is gorgeous too, of course. All my Sims are gorgeous. I mean, what can I say? I don't even try and they come out excellent. So yes, we are going to head over like this. There we go. Okay, so now they are getting married. I'm going to try and get some pictures of this wedding. I mean, this is great. Genevieve is so happy. She's getting exactly what she wants. Is that a small baby bump? I don't know. But yes, she's getting exactly what she wants, even though she's not moving and making a completely expressionless face there. But she is very happy about what is going on. She is getting to become a Heathcliff. She's the lady. People are going to call her lady now. And we're also going to, not right this second, but at the end. I don't know if it's going to be off screen or not, but we're going to move the old wife and her Nancy and her daughter Raphael back in with the OG Nancy Landgrab because they've basically been kicked out. And of course, Nancy Landgrab, the first, is highly disappointed in her daughter's failure, but that's okay. So we are going to then head home. I'm actually not going to check whether or not it's a boy or a girl. I think that that'll be fun to be a little surprise for us because obviously Cassian wants some boys, and I think that having a boy would also add drama because maybe later there would be an issue with, you know, whether Genevieve is potentially trying to get her child to become the next lord over Cassian the second. So that could be a thing. We'll have to see if that ends up being relevant. I don't know yet. It also depends on if the kid survives. I mean, Cassian only has 2 baby tries, and so there's that. Let's get a picture of them, and they'll be all good. So they are going to look great in, I think they're like the last ones on the 2nd level too of the church. And I'm like, is this church going to fill up with pictures really fast? Should I be worried that I'm going to run out of paintings immediately? That could be an issue, but look, there they are. They're gorgeous. I am so excited. I bet their babies are going to be beautiful for real. So excited about that. And we are just going to have the picture be finished. I think that too, Thomas and Adelaide are kind of, you know, like, okay, well, you know, take good care of our daughter and this, that, and the other thing. And I actually forgot to give Genevieve the estate, but I will give it to her later. And I guess that's Thomas's final blessing, is giving her and her husband the estate as the dowry. It is worth like 400,000 plus simoleons. So it is an excellent dowry and one fitting for a lady. So they are really excited about that. And Thomas is really, you know, just trying his best to be supportive of what is happening, even though he didn't want this for his daughter, but he's accepting it because he has to, and he's just, you know, hoping that everything works out for her, and is, you know, Genevieve is old enough to lead her own life, to make her own choices, so he is just kind of like, you know what, it's your life, and I'm going to let you take control of it. So that is what's going on there, and they are just accepting and saying goodbye to Genevieve. Oh, Genevieve. I actually love Genevieve. I loved playing with her. I mean, obviously we're going to keep playing with her, and I think that her life is still going to definitely remain relevant, much like Serena's was. I am planning on having some stuff happen for her for next year in the big decade, new decade starting video, whatever we're calling that. And she's definitely going to continue to have an interesting life, and I'm really excited about that for her. And I hope that she gets everything that she wants in life. She deserves it. So everyone is kind of going back to what they were doing. We're accepting all of this stuff, and I'm going to put this in here. We're also going to sell 1 rack of nectar, which is what I've decided we're kind of doing for the year. So that's what's going on there. We're going to have Thomas do it because he's kind of now in charge of the marketing aspect. That is the way that they're getting him involved in the process and in the family business. Also, we will have to eventually get him involved in the actual nectar making because both of his parents are going to pass eventually. So there is that. I'm not sure how interested Thomas is in it, to be completely honest with you. And then I think it depends on who he marries. You know what? Like, I feel like if he marries someone like Odelgard or someone who's not, you know, a rich sim, that they will probably be interested in helping with the nectar and helping all of that stuff and doing all of the dirty work. But I wonder if he marries El Rosaria, if she's even going to want to, you know, is she going to want to stomp grapes? Like, that's not really her. So we'll have to see kind of how the family business either succeeds or fails based on all of that. So that is pretty much where we're going to start wrapping up for the year. Thomas is going to do another Ultimate Horse Championship and, of course, get the gold once again. And then we have a Johnny Zest dying this year. No one else is dying. Isabella, she doesn't exist. I don't know what to tell you about that. I don't know who she was. But yeah, and we have some kids aging up into children. The Payne children are just always so beautiful, let me tell you. And Emil looks just like Serena. I am so excited about that. So very happy for everyone, and just, you know, things are moving forward. I was thinking in the next video I might do like a decade recap video, and that is kind of my idea, because I want to have like the new decade have all this drama and exciting things that happen, but I don't think I have time for all of that plus recapping the previous decade. So I think I might make it a separate video. It might not be too long, I don't know, but so the next video out will probably be a recap, and then after that we will have the drama of the war, this section of the war ending again. We will have definitely some drama that I've manufactured, which is going to be very exciting. I think that those of you who are interested in hearing more about what is happening with, you know, people and Thomas coming back to life, Genevieve coming back to life, you know, like what is going to be the consequences of all of that, are going to be really excited to see the next part. Also, Emil is aging up into an adult, which is just, well, so there is that. So I don't know, but anyway, I think that we are going to enjoy all of that. I don't think anything else is really going on. So I hope that you're excited, and I will catch you in the next one.